About 3 weeks ago, my partner Poppy and I had a reading with Zira, a local medium, and found out she didn't even have a logo. So I set myself the challenge, design her a surprise logo using Framer's free design tools, even though I'm used to using Illustrator. So this is the process and what happened, and you'll see her reaction at the end. So first up, I already had a typeface in mind. You see, there is this font called Bevas that I absolutely love. Clean, elegant, beautiful lettering, and probably the sexiest letter A I've ever seen. And I gotta be honest, at this point, I wasn't even sure if it was possible to install custom fonts in Framer, who I should also mention is the sponsor of this video. And whilst Framer has a big font library built in, I really wanted this one. Unfortunately, after a quick search on the old GPT, I realized that yes, you can install custom fonts, and it's also incredibly easy as well. Simply find the font file, upload it to Framer, and then after a quick restart of the app, the new font is ready to use. So yeah, that was nice and simple, but to be honest, that was the easy part. Next, I started with the word mark. So the words Zira Rose, that's her name, stacked with a centered alignment, and the word readings underneath in a contrasting sans serif typeface. And when it comes to logo design, sometimes it can be as simple as just choosing the right font, typesetting it correctly, so good spacing, intentional alignment, etc., all that stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing to remember because sometimes good typography can do half the work for you. So you want to get it right. So we've got the type, but we still need an actual symbol. And this is the part that usually takes a bit of thinking.
Gotta be careful, don't want to think too hard, do we, Dan?
So I went back to basics and started researching magpies, as this is something that has a personal meaning for Zira, and I thought she'd appreciate this thoughtful addition. Now, of course, inspiration comes in many forms, and for this design I had the idea of a magpie perched on top of one of the letters. So searching and studying silhouettes and icons for magpies, and birds in general to be honest, is something that was especially helpful. And as these types of graphics tend to represent things in their simplest form, it can help ensure that whatever I create is going to be recognizable. Because let's be honest, if I'm aiming for a magpie and it ends up looking like a dog, something's clearly gone wrong. Okay, next, after gathering a bunch of ideas and using my brain to think a little bit, it was time to start sketching. And you can do this using another app, an iPad, pencil and paper, whatever is easiest to let your ideas flow from your brain onto the page. And many of these are quick, they're messy and unrefined, and at this point that is totally fine. And what I'm really looking for early on is an idea that just has some potential. So a concept that I look at and go, oh. And after a good bit of sketching, I landed on a magical carpet and floated off into the sunset. Oh, come on, Dan, focus. And after a good bit of sketching, I landed on this concept and then imported the sketch into Framer as an image to start vectorizing it. Now you'll notice that the tools feel a little bit more streamlined than what you've seen me use in Illustrator, and whilst it took a little bit of an adjustment, I know that good logo design isn't just about the tools, it's about the shapes, proportions, balance, clean curves, all that stuff, and I had a vector tool that I could use for custom shapes as well, which as you can see was perfect for this type of design. So here you can see me using the path tool, and I'm just clicking and dragging and effectively tracing over my sketch. And this behaves very similarly to Illustrator's pen tool, so if you've used that before, this will feel very familiar. Now, when working with the pen tool, especially if you're new, it can be quite tricky at first. So if you're just getting started, some of the best advice that I can give you is to use as few anchor points as possible, because this will make it easier to refine all of the curves. And on the left, you can see my first rough version, and on the right, a more refined version. So now we can plonk our magpie symbol in. Let's scale it down. And we're going to perch him on top of the R. And we can still refine this further, but we'll come back to that a bit later. Right now, we just need to see how this sits within the logo as a whole. And then if you've used white boxes, you can use these options here to knock out those shapes as well. So we're just cleaning up the geometry, which is really important. And there we go. As a first pass, that is looking pretty solid. And even if you're like me and you're not that great at pen tooling things, well, you can always go back and refine everything after so that the end result looks solid. I mean, ultimately, that is what counts. And from there, I refined the spacing, adjusted the proportions, and tinkered with the curves and corners on a very granular level until I was satisfied that everything looked just right. I mean, you guys know me, I'm going to be zooming in and inspecting every single flipping pixel. You can count on that. I also built out another variation that was just the letter Z. Sorry, Z. My Britishness got the better of me there. The letter Z and the bird that could serve as a more simplified logo mark, before also mocking up a business card. Okay, so this is really straightforward to do in Framer. First, I've just created the business card size, rounded the corners, and we're going to throw in some information. This is obviously not real contact information. And this is a feature I absolutely love. You can instantly pick one of these amazing icon sets, plonk in an icon, search, filter, and then drop in icons from that set. And this is a great feature for web and UI design, but as you can see, something like a business card, it's equally as useful. Right, let's use the path tool to draw a vertical divider, and we'll chunk this up. And then on this side of the card, we're going to add that logo mark, the more simplified version. And now let's change the background color. We'll go for like a medium gray, and then we'll change the card to white. And I've mocked up a double-sided version with the full logo as well. And then we can add a drop shadow just to lift it off the surface. And as you can see, Framer's built-in icon sets are just pure magic here, especially when it comes to searching and then instantly adding customizable icons. Flippin' love it. I use these on my own site and it just makes adding icons, changing icons, all that stuff just super easy. Now, normally when it comes time to present everything, I'll put together a presentation for the design in question in a PDF format. However, I wanted to see how far I could go staying inside Framer because it's such a fun and easy platform to design in and it powers my entire website already. So why not just throw together a web page and I could just as easily send Zira, a link to view it in a browser. God, that was embarrassing. So getting fired. And if you really want to cross your T's and dot your I's, you could then optimize that presentation for mobile as well. And all I had to do was take my design page, convert it to a live site in one click, adjust the design a bit so that everything actually worked. And that was basically a live one-page presentation site that anyone could view using the shared link, which feels like a nice touch in 2026. And honestly, if I spent a bit longer on it, I could have easily added some animation and a bit of interactivity to the page as well. And to go from designing to publishing in just a few minutes, that's pretty cool. Plus, I can just make any changes I need to and then click update. So if I send over a link to the presentation and I realize that I've spelled a name wrong, I can just quickly update it and no one will be none the wiser. And so once everything was finished, later that day, Poppy sent the designs over to Zira. And fortunately, she absolutely loved it. And here is her feedback and what she said on the design.
Love that. Thank you so much. I love the Magpie edition. That's such a good touch. Thanks. I will absolutely use them. They're amazing.
So it's always nice when someone likes a design. Honestly, it's a bit of a relief as well that the client that didn't know they were a client liked the design that they didn't know they were having done for them. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They could say it's terrible and then they'd be like, oh, okay. Sad face. So yeah, she loved it. Happy days. And if you want to have a crack yourself at designing logos, icons, or even a website, Framer has a free plan where you can design and publish pages just like this without paying anything. Or you can use the code Dansky, and it's linked below as well, to get a free month of Framer Pro. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening to me talk. Thank you to Framer for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you in the next one.